This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
The dream and desire of every leader is to ensure that his government is legitimate. Now, democracy has been defined by the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And if you take a look at Africa today, I think much of the African continent is ruled by democracies. But in recent time, we've seen a rise in the spate of coup d'etats across Africa, especially in West Africa, right here in West Africa. Just recently, we had the case of a coup d'etat in Benin Republic, and this has raised serious concerns. And of course, it has had a lot of persons, asking questions. Are we going back to the old ways? Is this Africa going back in time? Okay, I thought the era of coup d'etats were over, but that's basically what we're going to be discussing today on Flipside on Independence Television, reaching you live from the city of Benin. Now, for those that are just joining us for the first time, Flipside is a unique show that tends to, take a look at issues by, trying to strike a balance by looking at them from different angles. They say variety is the spice of life, so it's important to, put a flip to issues sometimes, especially issues that are rarely talked about in the society. It reaches you on this station every Wednesday. My name is Harry Aigboje. It's always a pleasure to have you join me on the show. Now today, we are discussing something really, really interesting, something that has to do with the rise of military coups in Africa. A return to old times? Is it a return to old times? Are we going back in time? Or are we moving towards, more legitimate systems of government? And to do this with me is, someone who is quite experienced and grounded in the area of politics and politicking. He goes by the name of William Sejai. Welcome on board, bro.
Thank you very much for having me today. And let me say Merry Christmas to viewers. Merry Christmas in advance.
A Merry Christmas indeed.
Yes.
Christmas is just a few hours away.
Few hours. So please, everybody need to be very careful.
Please be careful.
Drive safely.
I tell you.
The rush hour, it cannot justify.
Just yesterday, I was scared on behalf of a lot of road users.
Exactly.
Because beyond the traffic, there was also this tension in the air.
Yes.
And it really beats me that people have to put themselves through so much pressure just because of the Christmas. I mean, Christmas is supposed to be a positive thing.
Yes.
And it's just a one-day affair. So why do I have to endanger my life or, go through so much stress just because I want to celebrate something that will just pass in one day? After tomorrow, it's over.
Yeah, well, let's say just one day we are back to working day.
Back to working day, right? And then the next excitement is the New Year celebration.
New Year celebration, yes.
Anyways, let's get right to the business of the day. The rise of military coups in Africa. Are we going back to old times, just like I said in opening?
Yes, in some region of the African country, especially the Sahel, they are gradually returning back to old times because of the colossal mismanagement, or let's say betrayal of trust and deprivation of the dividend of democracy.
So you're fundamentally attributing it to poor governance?
Yes, deprivation of dividend of democracy in that region is the result why you see this military uprising and take over, successfully taking over. Remember, it was almost close to the western side. And it took the intervention of AU, and before they were able to return back to democracy, So the issue is that the people are gradually losing trust on democratic regime, democratic administration, governance, and then you see them jubilating whenever there's a military takeover. In fact, even in Benin Republic, they were even jubilating. You can imagine that people who are supposed to, when you get into that regime, there's no freedom of expression. That is the first thing.
So the very fact that people could rejoice
is for you to understand how they've lost so much trust, so much confidence on democratic civilian rule.
Wow.
Yeah, you can just call it democratic rule. So when you say civilian rule, you know there's no longer military commando in places of authority. All the institutions are being manned and handled by civilians. So that I call it civilian rule.
Okay, now what historical factors do you think gave rise to the coups that have taken place across Africa in the past, not in recent time?
Yes, in the past, were like, you know, when immediately those countries get back for hand of their colonial masters. We use the Sahel now. The colonial master is still France. Yeah. So when they broke out of French administrative rule, and then they discovered that their leaders were also sold out to the French government. Okay. You know, imperialism, neocolonialism. You say we are free, but why our resources are being taken down?
Still controlled. Still taken back to Europe.
You give us in name of I want to give you security, and then I will tell you that France had the major deposit of gold, reserve in the world. Yeah. But they don't have gold in France. Well, because of all this Sahel country, the Congo, Burkina Faso, and all that,
colonies in Africa.
Colonies, yes, you know, who have successfully broken out of. They ripped them of these mineral resources, or in name of giving you aids, cheap aids. That are far even less than what they are getting from this country. So that are you know, probably even derived from the resources. Yes. So these people they get angry over time, and you can imagine that even young military leaders. Yeah. So they just get angry, and overnight they overthrow these leaders because they discover that the people are no longer benefiting their own resources. They are no longer benefiting from the dividend of democracy that you are portraying, that this Western world are selling to us.
Now we are speaking in historical terms now. Let's bring it down to recent times. There have been a spate of, coup d'etats in recent time. I think the most recent is the Benin Republic experience.
Yes.
So what do you think was responsible, or could have been responsible for that?
I know the world powers, they are trying to see how, especially China and Russia, they're trying to see how they also can also break into these African countries to share their own ideology. So they discovered that, okay, for them to get into these people, they need to break them out of the existing powers, like France and the US.
Yeah.
So they discovered that, okay, this part of the Sahel, they are very, they are, let's say, very so much anger. You know, they are easy to use, because it's as if the hold over the military apparatus over the, or let's say the military, the armed forces entirely is not as the way it is in the West.
Okay.
You know, let's use, for example, comparison. Here in Nigeria, there was this allegation of a military takeover. But you saw the way they were able to call it, and they get all of them arrested. Yeah. So they discovered that hold is no longer.
Well, some persons have also, speculated that was probably a sham, that there was really nothing like.
But people are in detention. People are in detention. From what we heard and what we've seen over in the papers, people are in detention. Over 19 of them in detention. So they discovered that this part of the Sahel, the hold over this military is somehow weakened. So they just capitalize on that, and then they throw. The issue why it's happening currently is also as a historical factor.
Okay, so it has a link.
Yes, link. It's like a progression. You know, imperialism and neocolonialism, they come to you, they no longer come in force now. Yeah. They come to you in very pitiable, very stylish and beautified manner.
So it's more like a Trojan horse.
Yes, you don't understand.
Looks good on the surface, but
yes, but what they give you, for example, now let's compare. They give you, always going for grants and loans. They give you, let's say, for $400 million, for example, and they are getting what is more than $400 million from you. You understand? So they empower these democratic leaders,
Yeah.
brainwash them, tell them all this sort of we are going to a stable economy, give them preach to them what they also cannot even offer, and then they get in return you pay them with your military resources. Let's give you an example now. Libya, as a critical example, where it even got to a time that US was offering them policing. They pay for policing. You know, in Libya now we have two regimes in Libya.
In Libya, yeah.
So they pay for policing. Imagine since the destruction of democratic rule in Libya through Muammar Gaddafi up till now, they are paying for military, paying for policing. You can imagine those kind of thoughts. Are you trying to say these people cannot provide police for themselves, or are they not capable to give that self-actualization? Let's exist with our own ideology. Each country, each region, they don't have their own ideologies, but the Western world don't want you to strive because they believe that the day you break out of their ideologies, then you break out of, especially the IMF, the day you break out of those their economic principle, economic ideology, which is one of the powerful tools that they are using to bring down this third world countries, especially the African countries. We know that when you break out of this ideology, it is over for them because they really don't have these resources. It's located here in Africa.
Okay.
So they try their possible best to make sure that they are always in their control
of it.
So when there's any issue, a shaking of, okay, now let me give you this example. When it was happening in Burkina Faso, the young man went to align with Putin, Russia.
That's Ibrahim Traore.
Ibrahim Traore align with Putin, Russia, and said, okay, don't worry, I'm going to provide everything you need. There are military might now, there are military hardware, military capability, technology, and all that is being built and being customized for them by Russia. So that's back.
But don't you also think that Burkina Faso and countries like that are also like cronies to countries, superpowers like Russia and the rest of them? Don't you think Russia is using them as puppets to achieve their selfish objectives as well?
They use them. They also want to build military base in their country. But because they perceive that okay, this person is selling something better than this other person, something attractive than this other person. But they don't want to liberate you for your own selfish, for your own gains. They want to liberate you per se for their own gains.
In other words, nothing goes for nothing.
Yes, but they present as if this is even more or less. I'm not interested in your resources. Just behave the way I want you to behave, and then probably when they need a base, these powerful countries, they're trying to expand their military influence, military prowess. So they're looking for countries that they can easily build base to also checkmate another. If for example, let's take for example now, it's not happening in Nigeria. There's a US base in Nigeria. France will do whatever is possible to get a US base in Benin Republic, French base in Benin Republic, military base in Benin. So that's how they checkmating themselves. So when you see these people coming to present ideology to you, they are coming in two things: their military expansion, and also to sell their economic ideology to you. So they get in control of your naira, they control of your currency. They want to be in control of your currency. So when you're coming to them to borrow money, they tell okay, your currency is so I want to float it a little. I will give you. You are killing your economy just to make sure that they have that dominance.
And it doesn't always look that way on the surface.
No, you will not say it until the damage is done.
All right, thank you so much, William. That was quite a lot. In case you're just joining us, it is Flipside on Independent Television, and we're discussing the rise in coup d'etats across the continent. We shall be going on this break now, and when we return, the program continues. Don't go nowhere. of the constitution have anything to do with the rise of military coups in Africa?
Of course. You know, first of all, let me say, civilian rule or the democratic rule now.
Yes.
You have the constitution, military rule, decree. So there's really anything that is written, they just decree, they say it. And
so nothing is on
they
paper?
enforce it. So they believe that why you see that the weakness of the constitution is leading to military takeover, because what is written is not what you are practicing.
Okay.
For example, especially the economic and the security aspects. You know, those are the major reasons why military takeover occurs.
Yeah. Okay.
Economic and security writings like decree constitutional scenes, written statement, but so things, when they stop practicing it, we discover, okay, for example, you say somebody that steals some amount of money, embezzles some amount of money, will go 20 years in prison or life imprisonment, and then so you present such person in court, and then you are telling the person to pay some amount and bring social surety, and then this person is going scot-free. So these people are seated and looking at you and say, what is this people do? What are these people doing? Yeah. This is what the constitution says, and this is what you are also doing. Why? Because these people, they've so much politicized our institutions. Institutions are now weak. So those are also the things that contribute to military takeover. Whatever these institutions are supposed to do, they're no longer doing it because they politicize everything. And mind you, these people, their children, their families, even also them, also they are subjected to this democratic rules, subjected to the day-to-day administrative or day-to-day activities of these institutions. So take for example, now a military man is in a place to clear or tax clearance or pension clearance or whatsoever, and then you see that he's seen the irregularities there. And then you know that he has this stake, he has this say, even when he's retired in the military, he has this say in his military. So probably they will be in communication and say, these people, they are not doing what is right. They get angry, they meet themselves in joints, meet themselves in hotel, meet themselves in eatery, meet themselves in relaxation centers.
Public places.
Public places. So they will discuss and they start talking and say, no, these people that are taking us for granted. Look at my family, look at what my son was saying, look at what this is saying, look at what my dad, look at what people are saying.
So in other words, it's often born out of the personal interest.
Yes, they get fed up with all these things, and then they look at the bulk of money being stolen by these leaders. And then the constitution cannot. They believe that when anybody is found wanting, the person should face the justice. Whatsoever the military leader says, that is what they go and execute on the decree. That's what they will act on. So they believe that what the constitution is saying, that is what people should be acting on. And you are not acting on the constitution. So they get angry, and then you just wake up one morning, and then you wake up, you see your TV station that a young man is saying that first of all, they abolish the constitution and say it is the constitution thereby suspended all
till further notice,
all institutions, all parasitals, all PAMSEC, everybody disband, everything, you will go home. They shut down the legislative arm, everything is shut down. Even up to the legislature, everything, legislative arm, everything is shut down. And then they say, okay, they are now in military decree. That was whatever they say. And they start giving orders. They give orders, give the decree. You understand? So the issue why they use war is as a result of the weakness of the constitution and our institutions that contribute majorly to the rise of coups.
Now, you mentioned much earlier that most times when there is a coup d'etat, right, there is usually this excitement on the part of the people. The people are usually very excited. Now, in the long run, do you think the people benefit?
Yes, what they benefit is that everything that they are supposed to gain as citizens, they're supposed to benefit as citizens, they get it. But the only thing that they take from there, which is very, very important, which is the reason why the Western world, the reason why Africans, EU and ECOWAS, they are trying to refuse or go against military takeover, because they seize your freedom. Your freedom of expression that you get in the democratic rule, you don't get it in
more or less like fundamental human rights.
Yes, but there's also some democratic regime that we are seeing that they are even also gagging the press and the also people. Taking away the freedom of the people, freedom of expression.
So you're saying that there's really no much difference between some civilian regimes and...
There is no much difference. Take for example, if for example now I choose a military regime over a democratic regime, but the resources, everything is supposed to benefit, I benefit. But for me not to say this man is this man not doing well, you know, those insults that he gets. I probably won't say anything as far as what I'm getting. But the democratic regime that I'm supposed to express myself, I'm supposed to benefit, I'm not seeing the both. So you understand? So these people find themselves in between. And when they discover that, oh, if it is military is over and they know that, okay, there will be good roads, I will tell you boldly and can say it here clearly that most of the federal roads that we are enjoying were constructed during the military era in Nigeria.
Ironically.
Yes. They were constructed during the military regime in Nigeria.
What you're saying in essence is that the military regime is not necessarily as bad as some persons make it out to be.
It's not bad. But the only problem there is that that's the freedom that they take from you. And the instant judgment. You know, they are very scared. You don't try the person, you just take them to Shara court.
The rule of law doesn't hold sway in the military regime.
You said?
The rule of law doesn't hold sway.
Of course, no. You don't even get a fair hearing. Like you take you to the court, military court martial, and then when they find you guilty, they don't even give you for an appeal. You are straight condemned to death, or whatever it is that the problem. If it's life imprisonment, you are gone. If it's death by hanging, you are gone. If it's death by firing squad, you are gone.
Okay, now, does insecurity or terrorism have a role to play in the rise of, military coups in Africa?
Of course. That's why I want to measure the issue of security, economic issue, and the security. And now the major reason now is that foreign intervention, economic principles. Most of the economic policies that these African countries are using, this is not a blueprint of their own base economies.
Okay.
It's a blueprint of IMF. And those blueprints is not for your economy to prosper. Your economy to prosper for them.
But that's the primary purpose of IMF.
Yes.
The International Monetary Fund is parroted to be, a body that is poised to provide some sort of financial relief to countries.
But it's not. They just give it in the physical way, yes. But
on paper.
Unless, but the background have a serious damage because when you are going for loans, do you know how they float your naira? Do you know how they ask you there's a word I'm trying to economic word I'm trying to do to devalue your currency.
Okay.
Yes, devalue your currency. You know, there's some time my dad used to tell me that you see this 1 pound to one naira then was 1 naira was way bigger than 1 pound, but over the years, and then there were there's this ideology. Let me say this. What will I put this now? There's this trend. There's a video that was trending.
Okay.
There's a word I'm trying to use for it, but there's a video that was trending years back of one man in the Senate when they were doing this constitutional review. It was the business aspect, and then the man was telling us how they devalue our currency over the space of 40 years, continually. How do you come and say no? It's too high for you to take so amount of load. They devalue and devalue that the naira is no longer be compared to the pounds. These things are very provocative. They are very provoking. They are there seated looking at you because you want to satisfy your own personal interests. You go borrow, you devalue our currency, you float the naira. They are there seated looking at you. So when this thing comes up, then let me now bring the security part of it. You say the Western world, they are offering security. Okay, so let's give you, we'll secure you. No rebel will raise their heads. No rebel will raise their ugly heads. Where you need to fight your border issue and those stuff. The aid I will give to you, military aid and those stuff. They are doing it not because they want to do. They are doing it because at the back end they are getting resources. Understand? So take for example, you remember how the rebels were troubling this Sahel. Most of those rebels were sponsored by the Western
powers.
Okay. Western powers to also destabilize. So they come set a security ideology for you. It's okay for us to take over all less, drive these people away, or probably just reduce or get them killed, or just arrest them or eliminate them, whatever it is. You pay so amount of money, or you bring so a barrel of oil. If you're an oil-rich country, bring so barrel of oil over the years, or bring so amount of gold over the long term over the years. So these things, they see these things, and they get angry. And they know that these things have been sponsored, these uprisings have been sponsored by this same Western world. So they wake up one morning and then they take over power. The citizens are happy. Why are they happy? Because they know that they are going to fix these issues, a lot of these issues. Okay. You take away, they sacrifice the freedom, but they know they are going to fix the different institutions, major problems.
All right. Thank you so much, Williams. In case you're just joining us, it is Flipside on Independent Television. We shall be going on another break now. The program continues afterwards. Please stay tuned.
Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year from Independent Television and Radio.
The new Edion expressed excitement as they danced and rejoiced before the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawori Benedion, who also joined in the dance. As visiting and paying of homage to various homes of senior elders continued, the initiates spent 7 days performing diverse kinds of rites as required by tradition. They were furnished with rules and regulations regarding their new office as Edion.
That I grew up in this community to the point that they have now also chosen me as an elder in this community. It's a thing of great joy. All thanks to the Esama of Benin, my people, my family, everybody, all Okada community for this great honor. I am very, very grateful.
Well, this is my brother. I'll call him my uncle because he grew up with my father. I'm so proud of him because we are doing the same rituals as the Edions of the Okada. It is our duty for us to make this place a greater place, for outsiders to come and see the goodness of God in Okada. And I'm proud of every one of us here. So shall it be to each and every one of us in Jesus' name.
Odion ma Okada zima Esama zima Dion Bona zima Dion Obana zima Dion Manawe Mari Esama Dion na Nimado Pom Esama Nimado Beken Esama Emana Dio Warena Esama Magbekene Osaba Obuyo Bitwane Aba no get on maga no dia me maga Manido Bekene de na Ima Yafe Ima Ato Ima Agmo Aropa Ewudori Ima Dia Wogene all the Diagmo ya no we me magame we need just question on me afa
in Esama in our father's house in respect of our initiation to elders Edion level. As tradition demands, we are here today to come and also pay our homage to him, for him to also pray for long life and prosperity.
The climax, after 7 days, was paying of homage again to the Edion way, where he gave the initiate the full rights to function and to henceforth participate in meetings with Edion. It will go down in the history and minds of Okada community, Ovia people, Edo State, and Nigeria in general. The ambience, style, and the colorful ceremony associated with the 2025 initiation into the Edion Council of former Governor of Edo State, Chief Lucky Nosakari Benedion, his brothers Bright Ayamekwe Benedion, Honorable Charles Osenwige Benedion, Peter Osawori Benedion, Dr. Fred Osawuni Benedion, Barrister Mike Osane Benedion, Executive Director Operations, ITV and Radio, Chief Elder Gwede Onse, Honorable Efosa Douglas Igbenedion, Ukbonwa Igbenedion, Osawe Igbenedion, Edosa Igbenedion, Dr. Daniel Omorige Igbenedion, as well as Agbong Steve Igbenedion, among other sons of Okada.
Yes, it's still Flipside on independent television, and we're discussing the rise of coup d'etats in Africa. Is it a return to old habits? Now, I'd like to ask you this question, Williams. What role do foreign powers play, directly or indirectly, in the rise of coups in Africa? Do they sit back and just watch, or do they even support, such coups, such moves?
The word direct or indirectly is two-way thing, or they go hand in hand.
Okay.
Concurrently. You can say direct, you can say indirect. Well, the two major ideology in the world is capitalism and communism.
Yeah, communism.
So, the West and then the North and the Asian world.
Yes.
Russia communism, US capitalism, and then, Russia believe that the means of production should be in the hands of the citizens, and why they control the government's regulator and control. So they look at these other countries and discover that these people, they are suffering. They are supposed to be the one in control of their resources. Yeah. So they look at, okay, how do they break them out of this other capitalism
this ideology.
Yeah. So they go to any leader who they know how to scout any of the military young minds or advanced mind who is interested in doing that. So they penetrate that person and then empower the person. Then okay, when you are done, we'll come over and then announce, flag you out of.
So would you consider that a direct involvement or indirect?
Indirect. Okay. So I'm coming to the direct.
Okay.
So when these coups they succeed in taking over power, they announce, and then you relax and observe the bubble movement of that particular military leader. You discover that any country that is first aligned with, that country was involved in indirectly sponsoring the coup or supporting the coup. Okay. So when they now come directly now and say, okay, they tell the other superpower that we are interested in this government. We support this government. So anything they need, we provide for you to succeed. Okay. And they tell other organizations, say, back at, we are in this. So this is a powerful country. For example, Russia is telling telling France to back out of Burkina Faso directly, and then he is saying it. Brent Trade is saying it. That he is in alignment with Putin. You understand? There was a time he had meeting with Putin.
Yes.
And then a few months later, he started building military hardware. Technology started flying around. So that's to tell you that they already striving on the ideology of Russia. You understand? So this a powerful nation play the very vital role in country military overthrow in each of these takeover of this country. Now let's go back to the international world. What is happening? You saw the issue between Russia and Ukraine, how the European countries, what the role they played. So in retaliation now they are trying to break out France. They discover, okay, let's dismantle this France dominance over these northern African countries, the Sahel. Yes. Let's dismantle it. And Russia is the one like backing them foiling them, telling them that you people can be self-actualized, can break out of this dominance of this French government, and they are doing it. And France, they are getting angry. Now, there's this ideology, this thesis that is flying around, this saying that is flying that immediately Benin Republic, the coup wanted to take place in Benin Republic. Why did EU using Nigeria to swiftly cure the issue? And then people are now saying, okay, can you link the relationship between the president and Emmanuel Macron? Because he was almost losing Benin Republic.
Okay.
And I said, okay, can you just help me try to restore? And when I heard that, and then one of my friends, I also heard it in one of these big commentators, and I was thinking about it. I said, yeah, this could be true. The sudden relationship between France and Nigeria, you understand me? So I think this, because it was very sweet. Yes, I remember why we're having this issue of bandits invading kidnapping of school children in Niger.
Yeah.
It was almost the same period the thing happened. Why the swift response to Benin Republic? Why not that swift response to our own internal issues? So you see the issue of international power play that, okay, please help me, because they don't want to be involved directly. You understand? So they now say, okay, help me do that. In politics we call it dirty job.
Okay.
The second of that is do this dirty job for me, just take over, clean up the mess and those, make sure that a democratic regime is restored. And they did it perfectly. I was surprised that, why can't you handle this? I will have some internal issues that you can't handle it this way.
So it's more like
a fighter jet trooping in Benin Republic.
So it's more like, our benevolence is only finds expression outside and not home.
Exactly. We have that power, but why can't you just treat the ones that's happening in then as other people, a lot of people,
charity begins at home.
Yes, a lot of people are not saying, okay, is it competent? Are you is there any relationship between what is happening and the government of the day? We are so surprised. So that's to tell you how international power and international countries, superpowers, the role they play in military regime, military takeover in countries.
Okay, now let's look at the role, or should I say how regional bodies like the AU, for instance, and of course ECOWAS and some other regional bodies respond to situations of coups. Let's say the one that happened in Benin, for example. How did the AU or how did ECOWAS respond to it?
They responded to it swiftly.
Do you think it was a decisive step? Do you think it was effective enough?
Yes, I was talking to Osaro. Yes, he was supposed to be here today. We just had some little busy schedule. We were discussing, and I said, okay, it was almost happening in Benin Republic. He said, that one should not happen. I said, why? He said, he don't want any military
interference
in our borders. Why?
Okay.
I said, why? I said, because this issue of crossing of borders, and I will have more security issue to deal with.
Okay.
I looked at it from that aspect. I said, okay, fine, there is some sense over it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God that it was handled, because a lot of deviants for good and the bad will just troop into your country, because while some are celebrating, some are also in a great fear. So they will start trooping to the nearest country available, just to make sure that they don't be part of the kind of loss of freedom and personal expression and all that. So they can also, those deviants can also use the opportunity to start spreading to countries. Say, just say, please, it's happening here, I don't want to be part of it. So can I come and take asylum or somebody seek refuge in your country? And then being vulnerable, you don't even know who the person is and the ground, and they start linking up with themselves, and the thing becomes so more difficult for us to handle than the way it is now. So I saw a good reason with that.
Okay.
But they were so swift to handle it. And if you look at these ECOWAS countries, they have one peculiar issue together. They have issue of security in their countries, and they have issue of economic issues. They can't fix it, but they come together so swift to fix their own problems, brother nations' problems, and you can't fix your own internal problems. Is a major issue. That's to tell you how the international body, the superpowers, controlling most of these African leaders, and it's very, very appalling and becoming so demeaning to see that. Take for example Cameroon.
Okay.
Sometimes I sit down to wonder how I've forgotten his name and how he is able to take control. Paul Biya. How he be able to take control over the military military personnel
Okay.
in Cameroon. It's been there for years. The economic issues, nothing to write home about. Security, nothing to write home about. But there seems not to be any uprising, any military.
So for some funny reason, he has been able to keep the system under control.
Let's look at it closely. The men who are there, who are the military generals,
yeah.
are also very advanced and old like him. So they all grew together. They live together.
So they share similar ideologies.
Similar ideologies. So it will be very difficult for such things to happen.
Interesting. Now, a quick one. Are sanctions effective in deterring military coups?
It's not becoming effective. It has never been effective. This same
so that's what emboldens some of these coup plotters.
Yes. You know why sanctions in Africa, let's say in Africa, because we are doing it in Africa, do you know why sanctions will be very difficult in Africa? Is it economic sanctions or whatsoever? Is it security sanctions that are going to impose on them? Why is it very difficult?
Life threats, death threats or something.
It's not working. Why it's not working is because...
threats of imprisonment.
Why it's not working? I'll give you a reason why it's not working. It's not working because they also are very rich in military resources. They can choose to align with other countries. Just like what Ibrahim Traore said when they were trying to threaten me. He said, you can go. ECOWAS can go. AU can go.
They don't need them.
He said, AU can go. We don't need AU. He said it boldly. It can go. He said to them, what are you going to? What are we offered? When these people are mismanaging our resources, what did you say? He didn't say anything. He said it. We said it to them.
So if we didn't need you then, we don't need you now.
We don't need you now. When there's this summit, you see their chairs are very, very empty. They don't go. So actually, don't they? Because they are aligned in other super countries. And their resources, they said resources to them.
Okay.
So what are you now going to, what economic sanctions are you now going to give them? So what security sanctions are you now going to give them?
So you're more or less irrelevant to them.
It's irrelevant to them. So sanctions has never worked. And I don't think it can work.
Well, in case you're just joining us, it's still Flipside on Independent Television. And it's time for one more break. And when we return, it will be time to wrap things up. Please stay tuned. Yeah, welcome back, beautiful people. This right here is the final lap of Flip Side today. Now, Williams, most times when military personnel take over a government, they promise a temporal control, right? They do not tell you that they are here to stay. They just tell you that, well, they noticed some, discrepancies and irregularities within the system, and they are here to fix it, right? So the impression is that it's a temporary affair. But in the long run, it's discovered that it's a different ballgame entirely. Why is it so?
You know, the word power corrupts.
And absolute power corrupts, absolutely.
Corrupt, absolutely. Power, democratic, but is difficult. Will I say it's few countries that democratic they get absolute power. But in militarism, it is absolute power. And it's corrupt absolutely. Why is it absolute power? It's the only one in charge. He's the one to tell you, go to that state, go and be military administrator, go to so state, be military coordinator.
And it's not based on the constitution.
Yes, you be finance this, you be petroleum coordinator and all stuff. It's not based on the constitution. Anybody chooses to be. So he's the one that is in charge. So he has absolute power. So it corrupts absolutely. So who are just the person that tastes power and says he wants to give you in 2 or 3 months' time. It's very difficult. That is when the personality of the person comes in. What was your intention in the first place?
From the get-go.
Of seizing power.
Okay.
That is very true.
What was your motive?
What was the motive? What was the intention? So the only person in the history of our coup was Ibrahim. Was the man's
Babangida?
No, not Babangida. Abdusalam Ibrahim.
Abdusalam Abubakar.
So he's the only one that stick to his word. That's okay. I'm going to restore power to democracy, and he did it. He didn't waste time.
So I guess it's safe to say that he was the only one that wasn't corrupted by power.
By power. That was the military regime produced the first civilian regime.
Yes.
By Obasanjo in 1999.
1999.
So it is very difficult to see these people who just come and say, okay, in space of 3 months or 6 months, we'll fix the country and then let's return back to them. No, it's very difficult. Absolute power is very, very corrupt them, absolutely. But the people, on the other hand, are they comfortable? Because they are the ones that will also determine if this regime will change immediately or not. Now, take, for example, Putin, for example. If you go and study the rising of Putin, started so well that he's a military personnel. Military general. Of course. His uprising started so very smartly. Became personal advisor, security advisor.
So it was strategic.
Created his own military movement. Started using it to take dominance over the arm of affair in Russia, and then he became the president.
The president, yeah.
But his military form, stylish. He's been there for years.
So he's been within the ranks.
Yes, he's been there for years. But the people are very comfortable with this. Why? Because it doesn't make you feel, give you the reason why to go against
So it gives you a sense of belonging.
Yes, so it gives you a sense of belonging. And over time, he has built his credibility. Whatever is presented to them, if it's a form of integrity and whatever it is, he has built it over time. Because there was there I studied his ranks and how he became so powerful. So I saw it, and it's very difficult to break such a person out of power because of how he has so much been in corridors of power for a very long time.
Okay.
And you understand. So now, here in Africa, what is it that you have done? What is it they are going to do that will not make the people to start agitating?
Do you have the charisma? Do you have?
Yes. Do you have what it is? If you are doing what it is, they will never mind. You can ruin for years. If you are doing what you're supposed to do, whatever you preach that you want to do,
could that also be the reason why Gaddafi ruled for
exactly? I was coming there. He was doing so well that people didn't
mind that he had been there for a long time.
Yes, but also America needed something to happen.
Okay.
So they actually now exploit just one issue that has been with him.
Okay.
Using his family to run the affairs of government. That he said he only trusts his family. His children and everybody relative to the one running the government. That was the weakness that America exposed to the rebels that were created, and then that was how they were able to train up.
All right, because of time, because we're actually pressed for time right now. Do you think constitutional reviews could limit the tendency of military takeovers?
Yes.
Less than a minute.
Yes, it will. You know why? You strengthen the various institutions, democratic institutions, and then let it live up to expectation. Whatever it is that institution is supposed to do, let them do it to the latter. If it is the police, whatever it is, the judicial system, the legislative arm, pass these laws and they let it work. And then constitutional review, let everything that is supposed, what the constitution says per se, and then let it be effective. Let it go run freely as it says, and then there will not be need for coup d'etat.
All right, thank you so very much, William Sediai, for your very brilliant analysis. It's been quite an interesting moment with you. We've been taking a look at the rise of military coups in Africa, a return to old habits. And Williams has said in opening that it's actually looking like a return to old habits. And the question is, for how long are we going to continue like this? What does the future hold for African nations or for Africa as a continent? Because, I mean, if it happened in Benin Republic, only God knows where next. So the question is, what are we going to do about it? Are we just going to fold our arms and let this trend continue? Well, it's been such an amazing show so far, and a very big thank you to Williams once again for doing me the honor of being on the show with me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. And once again, my name is Harry Aigbo J. And until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, do the right thing, stay out of trouble, and bye for now.
Prince B and Unang Global.